Have you ever considered expanding your e-commerce business to the European Union? Well, in this video, I have a guest speaker who will update you on all tax policies and who is able to provide one-stop services for a European business. Enjoy. Okay, Eric, again, thank you again for having this meeting with us. Can you please give us a little bit of introduction on what you do specifically for the European Union and the market when it comes to dropshipping and bulk orders?
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for having me again. So basically, what we have been doing for European market, we focus on the fast or the quick shipping service. One is called direct parcel shipping, from especially for e-commerce sellers, that would be goes to customer's hand directly. And also we also work on international express like UPS, DHL, FedEx, then, and also air freight. So these are considered as the quick shipping service.
Some of my subscribers reached out to me and they want to know more details about the IOSS, which is like the import one-stop shop for
True.
the European Union.
Yeah.
And this came into effect pretty recently, I think like in July. And some of them want to know how it could affect them if they have a drop shipping service and what are some ways to overcome this or, make sure they do the drop shipping correctly.
Okay. Frank speaking, when the policy first introduced, so there was a lot of chaos. People think, oh, how can we do the European market? What should we do? But after a few months, we think that the impact is minor. It's not that big, especially for, as I saw, small and medium-sized sellers. But for those very big sellers, especially they sell on Amazon or eBay or those very big name platforms, they do have to face this kind of problem. But for drop shippers, I don't think this is a big problem.
Can you explain some of the changes that happened like before and after the policy, specifically when it comes to the import taxes?
Before this policy, all orders under 22 euros, so there will be no import duty, there will be no VAT. But since the new policy, all orders even less than 22 euros has to pay the VAT. But anyway, still like import duty free. For the orders between 22 euros and to 150 euros, no import duty, but need to pay VAT. For like orders more than 150, that's is still the same. You have to pay the import duty. You have to pay the VAT as well.
Yeah, so just to clarify with the audience, VAT means value added tax. Usually,
True.
most places around the world have this, especially China. And this
Yeah,
value
yeah,
added tax is usually different depending on the product type. So you may have a
yeah.
different value added tax for clothing versus electronics. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, the product cost is what we're talking about, not the shipping cost. So if your product costs 20 euros to purchase or procure, then you would need to pay tax on that based on the 20 euro.
Yeah, very true.
And if someone wanted to start drop shipping to the European Union all of a sudden, maybe they got the motivation. Do you know anyone that can help them provide the services, help them do customs clearance, and to get the package to the final destination to the end customer?
Okay, so let's say you mentioned that somebody got inspired, want to do start the dropship business. I will not suggest that those as it called new players to really go to separate service provider because they're gonna cost more, not only the money but time. So basically, you only have to pay off the shipping cost. So the customer clearance, the VAT thing will be handled by us.
Okay, for those that want to start drop shipping to the EU, can you give us a highlight of what countries that you support for the shipping in the EU and give us an example journey of a product from start to finish with all the costs associated with it?
Okay, so we cover most of the European countries, especially like Northern Europe and Middle Europe and West Europe and Southern Europe. And so the journey will be, for example, when you have the product and the orders placed by your customers, and then you have the package shipped to my warehouse from your supplier. And then we will do the consolidation here because we have orders from different customers. So we consolidate, and then we use the uh, air freight, cargo flight, and then we send to an airport in Europe, for example, in Belgium or in Germany. or France. So this will be the three major ports where we consolidate the orders. And then when we consolidate the orders, so we will do the custom currency in the European countries as a bulky order. So once finish the custom clearance, then we'll goes to the our transitional warehouse in Europe, and then so the local delivery company, for example, if you're German, then will be probably DHL or German Post, will pick up the package and then send to the customer hands. And for European market, for example, for UK or France, mostly it take about like 7 to 10 working days from my warehouse to the customer hands. Also, for this kind of packages, mostly from our practice, we see that the VAT thing is kind of random check because we do the bulky order custom clearance. So whenever the custom clearance check that the goods, there may duty happens, but in general, we see there's a very proportion of the package will be taxed.
Okay. Would you mind going through a scenario? Like, let's say I sell a product that's worth 20 euro and I am the drop shipper and I want to send it to my customer. Starting with 20 euro, can you walk through like the estimated, let's say I want to ship it to Germany.
Yeah.
Can you explain the flow of how it would look like for me as a drop shipper to make sure I pay you as a shipping company?
Okay, so let's say a 20 euro orders. So first, we definitely have to fill the invoice, which there will be claim value. Let's say we claim the order is 20 euros, and if that order was taxed by the local authority, and we will charge you back. And so, and also the VAT rate, the average rate is around 20%. So that means the customer, or I mean the seller, has to pay €4 VAT. But this it is charged back. So it happens, and then we give you the bill, and then you pay the bill. If there's no duty occurs, and then there's nothing we need to do.
Okay, so it seems like it's a hit or miss. Like sometimes it can happen and sometimes it can't. But for those that
Yes.
want a one-stop shop for the shipping and the duties, you provide the service to ship it. And if there are any additional duties or taxes, then you will send an invoice to the drop shipper and then they would have to pay it. And if not, then the product will just get to the final destination, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it sounds pretty easy to do. I just
Yeah,
I
it's
just
pretty easy. It's especially for dropshippers because probably they're using Shopify, this kind of thing, or other
yeah.
social media to sell the product.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. And for those that you have worked with that ship to the EU, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen them make when it comes to business in the EU?
Well, for example, there are some new players they want to purchase from China. They, of course, everybody want the low shipping cost, to save money. And let's say, for example, somebody have ordered like a 20 kilogram, and they ask me if they can use sea freight or by rail direct from China. This is one of the small mistakes they make because for sea freight or rail, I mean by the train, you need to have like certain volume to match the threshold for the service. And also some of the small orders, they want DDP, but I think there's no need. For example, a lot of the orders that you purchase from China, you may sell like a 500 euros in Europe, but actually the cost you pay here in China is less than $100, 100 US dollar or 200 US dollars. That was definitely lower than 100 like 50 euros. And some of them need like a DDP or delivery duty paid. You don't have to because in most cases it will be duty free for you. So you don't really have to pay additional cost for this kind of like
Yeah, understand. And another point you made is that the duties, the DDP, all that is kind of like on a case by case. So that's why I wanted to introduce, your services, because the thresholds for the amount of money before duties need to be paid, or if there's any risk of it being additional taxes. You've been in the business for a while, so okay, is it less than 150 euros? Then you don't have to do DDP. If it's more than 150 euros for the product, then you'll have to do it, but you will handle it for them because you will bill the drop shipper the extra duties that are paid, correct?
yes.
Yeah. And something also that the audience should know is that if they do decide to do sea or rail, you can't track it the same as you can with air freight. It's just not the same.
No.
You get
Uh,
estimates like, okay, it's at this port being processed, but you don't know exactly where it is in the logistics journey.
No, it's very difficult because also as this like a big like ship company or big the real company, they will not provide this kind of information because they only care about the volume. So they want your order be as heavy as possible, be as bulky as possible. They don't really care about small parcels, small orders.
Yeah. And if you had to leave the audience with one piece of advice if they want to do this business, what would you give them?
Well, just act quickly because the world changing so fast. And I've talked to so many the supplier in China and also the buyers from different countries. You will see the way of international trading is changing dramatically. In the past, people talking about containers, people talk about like huge orders. They want every year they only want like 3 to 4 orders. They make enough money, but now they are seeing more and more small orders, but very quickly, very quickly. So
Yeah.
we will have to act quickly because this world is going to be dominated by e-commerce
Yes.
in the short future.
Okay, and if anyone wanted to contact you for, shipping, drop shipping or bulky shipping to the EU, what would be the best way for them to reach you?
I can give you the web the our website address, and also if there's anybody who have the WeChat, and probably can scan my WeChat QR code, and it'll be much easier for me to communicate.
Okay, so I'll put this information in the description down below for the audience if they want to get in contact with you, and then you can work from there. I hope you learned something today and feel less overwhelmed about selling products in Europe, because it's actually not that hard. Remember to check the description down below for any contact details, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Let's make sourcing easy. If you are seeking freight forwarder services to the European Union or the USA with affordable rates for your business, be sure to check out this video right here.